This video will cover lifting operations in a railway environment. All lifting operations have to be carried out in line with the lifting operations and lifting equipment regulations. This will demonstrate how we are meant to remain compliant with this regulation. Firstly, we must ensure that the person in charge of the lift is competent to carry out the required task. This can usually be demonstrated by holding the correct competencies for the attachment required for use to complete the lift. If you are ever unsure what competence is required, you can refer to the Machine Controller Crane Controller Key Point Cards booklet. Next, the operator and the crane controller will ensure all items of lifting tackle required for the lift are in date for their thorough examination. This should be every 6 months for lifting tackle, and every 12 months for the crane performing the lift. Before any lift is carried out, all staff involved in the lift will be briefed on and fully understand the lift plan and make sure all items of lifting tackle and lifting equipment required are as stated in the plan. Before using any piece of lifting tackle, you must check it has a unique identification number and a safe working limit written on it. Multi-leg chains will also have varying SWLs at different internal leg angles. Usually 90 degrees and 120 degrees, this angle should never be exceeded. Then the crane controller will inspect the lifting tackle prior to use, checking for any signs of damage, stretching or distortion. If any defects are found, this must be reported and immediately removed from service and quarantined. Looking at this lift, you can see the internal angle of the chains is less than 90 degrees and all slings are protected from the sharp edges of the rail. All of the chain hooks are facing away from the crane hook and only one sling loop is permitted per chain hook. Protection should always be used on webbing slings, especially around sharp edges. Here is another demonstration of all chain hooks facing outwards as required, correct lifting lugs being used, and an acceptable internal chain leg angle. As you can see, one of the hooks gets caught when lifting. If there is ever an issue with a lift, the load must be lowered and the lift rectified before commencing. This lift is demonstrating how choking can be used to lift items that do not have designated lifting points. This means a reduction of SWL of 20%. Please note how the chains are wrapped around in opposite directions, and again with chain hooks facing outwards. This helps ensure an even lift and even distribution of weight. These videos show how specialist lifting tackle are used in lifting certain rail materials, such as sleeper beams for sleepers and bag lifters for ton bags. You must never use chains to lift a ton bag, as this exerts forces in the wrong directions on the lifting loops. When carrying loads over long distances, this is how it should not be done. The member of staff has his fingers in a pinch point, he is not wearing any gloves, walking backwards over uneven ground, and has no decked comms on to communicate with the operator. If the load were to fall over in the stillage, it could lead to significant injury. The member of staff could fall in front of the moving machine or be struck by the load. This is how a tagline can be used to guide a load when travelling over a longer distance, allowing the member of staff to walk out of harm's way. This first image shows an illegal lift using cam locks not in a vertical plane. We have been made aware of our customers ordering them as a replacement for rail beams. This must be refused and reported to on call immediately, as they will be instantly bent open. These next two images show how the lift should be carried out, utilising a spreader beam to leave the cam locks in a vertical orientation at all times. Thank you for watching, and as always, stay safe.